Thank you for joining us on the program. Following concerns and a backlash over rising fuel prices affecting cost of living, Kenya's government has approved a 50% reduction on a new tax on petroleum products. President Uhuru Kenyatta on Friday in a televised address proposed the 50% cut and promised expenditure cuts across government departments. Kenya introduced the 16% value-added tax on gasoline on the 1st of September, saying it would help raise around $345.8 million to plug a budget deficit of 5.9% of gross domestic product GDP. But Kenyatta now says he wants to find a delicate balance between short-term pain with long-term gain.
To calm social anger, the president therefore proposed austerity measures in all branches of government. These reductions will target non-essential expenses such as travel, training and seminars. These cuts require all of us in government to tighten our belts, the head of state said. He also proposed increasing resources of anti-corruption institutions with regard to justice to speed up procedures.
With us now is Martin Andati. Martin Andati is a political analyst in the country. Welcome to the program, Martin, and thank you for joining us. So, Martin, President Kenyatta insists the fuel tax is necessary, though he has halved it now. But let us go into the numbers and how Kenya got itself to this point.
Yeah, we have had challenges. You know, the Jubilee government really borrowed. When Kibaki was leaving power, we had debts of about 800 billion. Currently, we are standing at 5 trillion. So they have really borrowed, and they started doing too many things at the same time, and that has really strained the economy. So if you look at the numbers, you know, currently we did a budget of 3.1 trillion. But out of the 3.1 trillion, the projected revenues collections, they are projecting to collect 1.7, which I really doubt if 1.7 trillion, which I really doubt if they'll manage, because the economic environment doesn't look very good. So when you look at those numbers, the money we are collecting is not even enough to pay to run our costs, and the entire development budget is basically supposed to be money that we are supposed to be borrowing.
Martin, over the years, experts have warned about Kenya deepening into recession. Could we say this is beginning to look like a recession, and that is why the government appears to be taking some austerity measures?
We are in a very deep hole, and if we don't stop digging, then what it means is we are actually in serious trouble. If the economic outlook doesn't look very good, the projections for revenue collection are not good. So if we are unable to collect most of them, and I know the problem, most of the projects which were started are long-term. So for us to get any benefits out of some of those projects, it will take quite some time. Like the SGR, like some of those dams they are building, they are good for the long term. But, you know, we had Vision 2030, and on Vision 2030, there are programs which are supposed, some of the projects will have been started in 2020, others will have been started in 2025, and others even in 2030. Now, the Jubilee government, because there are people who are greedy and who wanted to collect commissions out of those projects, they went and started virtually every other project which was supposed to be started, even those which would have been started much later. They were started before the time that they should have been started. So that is why we are in the mess in which we are.
Let us now talk about China. China is partnering with the continent, and Kenya is part of that key partnership. How is that cooperation impacting on the current economic situation in Kenya, Martin?
China has been lending African countries money, which people thought it is easy money, but there is no easy money. You know, Chinese loans are very expensive. Two, they don't come with a lot of conditions, but you know, they keep on lending the money so that they use that debt as a trap. So that is where now most of the African countries, including Kenya, are. And you've seen the Zambian case. You are now seeing the Kenyan case. And if we are not careful, if we continue the way we are going and we default on some of the loans, I will not be surprised to see the Chinese insisting that maybe they want to take the port and even the SGR which they built, and even the oil. So if we must look very careful on some of the engagements we are getting with the Chinese. And, Chinese are not, unlike the West, they don't do technology transfer. They make sure that, and most of the materials they use in their projects is they import it from their own country. So that is posing a challenge for us and the rest of Africa.